Hello, hello, hello.
Yay.
I apologize, technical difficulties.
I've been there. I understand, believe me.
Well, it's using the town's info and I couldn't find the username and password, so I'm like looking everywhere.
I think maybe I can do it. I've got a UMass Zoom license.
I think they want us to do it on the town one.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah, I have it now. I was.
Well, there were two different ones. And I hit the first one and it said, this is not a valid meeting
Yeah.
ID. Yeah.
I know. Well, I appreciate all of your extraordinary efforts to join the meeting. Thank you very much.
Peg will be along in a while. She just called me.
Okay, and it's so nice to see all your faces. Here she is here. She just, I just admitted her. Hi, Peg.
Hi, Peg.
We'll unmute you. Let me see. All right. Well, you can unmute yourself, actually.
Lower left-hand corner, Peg. See the little microphone with it?
Yeah, I got it. I don't know why it was muted. Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
Good. And I think this is going to be a quick meeting, I'm hoping.
Awesome.
But it's so nice to see you all. It's just
Yeah.
one of those things now. It's
here.
great.
Happy retirement to Marla.
Nice to see everybody healthy. That's good.
Yes,
Yes,
And maskless.
knock on wood.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And happy retirement to Marla.
Oh,
Hey, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay,
Very nice. I
Great.
wonder why she's smiling so much. Awesome.
Good.
Very good. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm going to just start off the meeting by, you saw the email. Liz Lacey's no longer going to be joining us because she moved out of town. So she wanted me to just relay her thanks and goodbyes to everybody. So I've let the select board know and they're aware of it. So thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
So is she going to go back and forth for that Boston job?
No,
Ah.
she moved to Boston. She moved to
Okay.
Brookline.
But her job is in
Starting
Boston,
a new
right?
life. Yeah.
Her job is in Boston, right?
No,
Boston
she works for
area.
the National Park Service and she works for the Wild and Scenic Rivers program, and she has 6 rivers that she covers, and she's assigned out of the Springfield office.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
Now she's just working out of her house, so it's kind of easy in a way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of COVID, can't really travel, as we all know. Okay, so did everyone get a chance to look at the meeting minutes?
I did.
Oh,
Good
and
minutes, Sue. Good minutes.
yeah, thank you very much. Does anyone have any changes or comments?
Thank you.
No,
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 all in
I-
favor?
I move approval.
Second?
Second? Okay, approved as written. Thank you. And I actually should have asked to start with, is there someone who would just take very brief notes? That's all we're gonna need is brief notes tonight, because we're not gonna say that much. Any
Okay,
volunteers?
if it's brief notes, I'll take the brief notes.
All right, thank
So,
you.
Craig, all right,
Thank you. Thank you, Peg.
Craig.
Yes.
All righty, hold on, I gotta get myself, okay, so who's here? Okay,
Turn your volume up, Peg.
I've got it up all the way.
Okay, I'll turn mine up.
I have it up and I'm not muted. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
No, that's- you just have to get closer to the mic.
I'll adjust it this end.
Why?
Yeah, we can hear you pretty much, so that's,
Okay, is this any better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
we're good. And so we welcomed everyone, we thanked Liz, and we approved the minutes. That's half the meeting. Okay. So update on the recycling shed. Okay, guys, you have to know this has been my single-minded hobby for the last
Beth.
number of months. It is, I have, see this gray hair? It's grayer.
Oh.
But anyway, so there were like 3 false starts this summer of people who said they were going to buy the shed, take the shed, whatever, and then they fell through. So I get all excited, and then it go all excited. The final one was the Board of Health. They had grant money. What the part of the problem was the finance committee would not allow us to sell the shed for less than what we paid for it, even though as we had it, it was not a particularly well-made unit. Anyway, the
Not
Board
worth
of
the
Health.
money, so to speak. Yes.
But the Board of Health had grant funds and they agreed to buy it and they bought it from us. Michael Broad did some repairs to it. He kind of made it airtight on the inside. They moved it to the back of the school. So we're very happy that that finally happened. That's the good news. The not as good news is there is a national shortage of the building materials needed to build our shed through ShedWorks.
Oh,
So
Of
after
course.
well, you know, had we been able to get the Board of Health stuff straightened out 2 months ago, we would have been able to do it. But because it went on so long, by the time we finally got it straightened out, the guy didn't have the material. So I was just gonna shoot myself, but I decided not to.
I'm glad you did good.
Glad you-
Yeah, we're glad of that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But, you know, they have all the ShedWorks folks are planning to build it. First, he thought he wouldn't be able to get the materials until spring, and there's still a chance of that. But he thinks he'll be able to have them by the end of November, and we're high on the priority list for him to build it. The money is set aside it's actually the check that came in from the Board of Health is in the recycling. It was deposited into the recycling revolving fund.
Yeah, all right.
Yes,
good.
so we don't have to
Good
deal
idea.
with finance committee at all, which is a wonderful thing because
Yeah.
they have been awful.
Yeah.
So the
shall I
question,
put that in the minutes?
well, you can put the minutes that the check has been set aside for us.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Yeah,
The
that's-
recycling
nothing
fund.
about the finance committee being awful, right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And the rest, yeah,
Question?
yeah.
Sorry, was the amount of money that the Board of Health purchased it for the same amount?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
And I think it was 38.50, somewhere around there, maybe 38,
It was
37.
38.50, 38.50. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, now here's another twist though. I don't know if any of you have tried to buy building materials for anything lately or appliances or other things. The cost of all that stuff because of COVID, because of people not working and scarcity, the price of everything has gone up. So in addition to not being able to get the materials, when the materials are available, they're gonna cost more. So the question, you know, Wayne, the guy we're dealing with, Wayne Buxton, the owner of ShedWorks, he basically is facing not making any money on this, or making very, very little money on this because the prices for materials have in some cases doubled. They've just gone way up. So one of the things I wanted to ask you guys is if you, because of COVID, if you would be willing to use some of the funds in our revolving account to slightly augment what we're paying him. And we can talk about how much it is. I don't think I don't think it's fair for him to ask us to do that because there's no question the prices have gone way up. And I think it's a reasonable request. Gail?
Are we talking tens or hundreds?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you guys. I was gonna propose maybe a couple of $100 in addition, or rounding it up to an even.
What's the price of the shed?
4,000?
What's the price of the shed? 38.50 is the price?
38.
It's basically the
38.
same price as
It's
the
about
other piece of
38.
crap, and it's so much better.
Is he gonna lose money on this deal?
Yeah,
I think we should make it more like 3. I think it's really hard for small.
he means
business people.
300.
300, yeah.
Oh,
It's really hard for small business people now. And, you know, I'm not even sure that that's enough. I don't know what
Yeah.
we've got in the revolving account, but,
Yeah. That's what I
but
was
you know,
gonna ask.
I think if, you know, we can't give them a lot because we don't have a lot, but it would also be just good relations,
Yeah.
you know, to help him make a few bucks on
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say though is that we did already provide the paint to him, and that was about $160 worth. So that's why I was saying if we rounded up to the even 4,000, so that's, well, that's not that much more though, is it?
150,
Maybe
yeah.
if we said 4,100,
4,100.
what is, people
Yeah.
think about that?
Question,
Marla?
$300.
what would be the reason for not rounding it up or even going to 41? Why wouldn't we?
Well, you
'Cause
know,
we're
way
forced to.
back when we talked to him, he gave us a price estimate. You know, he's an honorable guy and if we pressed it, I think he would stay with that. But he also sounds like he's under unbelievable pressure. So I just, and I have bought a few things lately and I've talked to other people in prices for all kinds of, you know, building materials have definitely gone up. He's not making that stuff up. And there's also significant shortages around. So that's why. Peg, did you have a
Neil
comment?
has a question.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, do we not know, oh, I'm sorry, do we not know how much money is in the revolving account at this point?
I do
I'm
not
sure
know.
I don't know, but I'm sure there's enough to cover that. But we do have to get trash bags. But I believe there's enough. And I could talk to Becky and confirm that there's enough to cover the 4,100.
Talk
We
to
can
Gail.
make a contingent.
Talk to Gail.
Gail?
Yeah.
She's the one who cranks out the reports.
Do you have a number for her? Is she, you know, is she hard to get in touch
I
with?
No,
could not.
if
I
you send her
could
an
not
email, she'll
find-
be very responsive.
Okay.
Have you got an email address for her, Gail? Because
Yes.
I couldn't find it on the town website.
Okay.
Tell me her name again.
Gail, Gail Weiss, Weiss.
Oh,
And
it is GAIL. I thought it was spelled different.
GALE. I thought it was a,
I thought it was GAYLE.
no, it's IL.
Okay.
Town account, town.accountant at shutesbury.org.
ah.
Okay.
Gail Weiss.
Good.
So,
I will email her tomorrow, but I would like to take a vote on this that would be contingent on the availability of funds.
Mhm.
Are there any more discussion though before we take a vote?
Well,
Gail?
It's not his fault that we came to this after the fact. And it's not his fault that the cost of the materials has gone up. And I think in all fairness to him as a small business guy and somebody's been straight up with us that we
Yep.
pay what we can. If we can't cover the full cost, okay, but that we make a substantial effort to cover what we can.
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Gary?
I'd be willing to kick in a little bit just to make sure that it happens.
What do you mean, personally?
Yeah.
Well, that's very generous of you. Let's hope we don't have to go there.
Right.
But that's very nice of you.
yes,
But
Okay.
in terms of contingency, looking forward and saying that we're gonna have to pay out for trash bags. Gail gives you a total, subtract trash bags, and then see what we have net that we have to work with.
I do think we have a lot in that account right now, though, but
Great,
yeah, I think we're gonna be fine. But I will double check that.
fine for what, though? That's the question.
Trying to cover both the shed and trash bags.
I wouldn't want to see him lose money on this, so.
What's that?
I wouldn't want to see him lose money on this.
Right.
No, I
I
would.
really appreciate everyone being so supportive about that.
So, I mean, if we can at least make sure he doesn't lose any money and makes a little, that would be great.
Agree.
Excellent.
Agree.
We're such a nice group of people. I love it. Okay, so
Well,
would
then
someone like to make a
we-
motion?
Question,
Oh,
question
Oh,
here.
question? Yep,
There-
Marla?
Yeah, one last thing. So again, I feel like I probably for 5 or 6 years will say I'm the new kid on this committee. But not having a clue what other needs we have besides the trash bags.
Mm.
Is there anything else that account needs to cover?
Trash bags, bins, compost bins and the recycling bins. That's really pretty much what we,
But
Oh,
we
and-
usually get
and if
money
we ever
back
do it,
for that. So we
Right.
usually have grant money. And I will also say that with the $3,000 that we pay to the Leverett Transfer Station for the stickers, I believe we're already past that amount. We're making money now.
Mhm.
So
We
that's
were-
been really
we were,
great.
we were almost at $3,000 when I took everything up to town hall.
Wow.
So I'm sure we're doing much better now.
Thank you.
And we
The
didn't
other-
hear a
by the
peep
way,
from
just-
anyone about not having bulky waste day this year.
Yeah, that's the other thing that comes out of that account, Marla, is bulky waste day. And that's a big expense.
Yeah.
However, I mean, this is something for all of us to think about, but without having heard a peep about not having bulky waste day, granted, it's the times of COVID, the Leverett Transfer Station works so well for us. I think we should consider just using this as a way to slide into no longer having bulky waste days. I just don't see the benefit of it if it's costing us a lot of money and it's not providing a lot more service to townspeople. It's actually, the transfer station provides a lot more service.
Right.
Mhm.
I
Well,
mean, we could have, if there are a couple of items that we don't collect, that they don't collect there, that maybe we could do a collection day for blah, blah, if there's 1 or 2 specialized items, but otherwise, yeah,
Right.
Gary?
well, I was gonna say that because we no longer have electronic collection and we no longer have styrofoam collection, there's no real benefit to having bulky waste day in Shutesbury because everything can be taken to the Leverett Transfer Station, including electronics and styrofoam.
Wait a
One-
minute, when I went there this spring, they would not accept the electronics.
Really?
That's
They
right.
took my electronics when I went. Maybe they didn't like you. No, just,
Oh,
no, they took my electronics and they also took my medals and said, we don't even charge for medals. I mean, it's so cheap every time I go there. I don't know how they do
Yes.
it.
It's
It's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah. But-
Okay, I'll try my electronics again.
Well, take them to Staples.
I have too many.
Oh.
Maybe that's why they said no.
Well, no, I didn't even, I just called them and asked and they said no.
Oh,
I said,
you
"Listen,
have to-
Dad,
you have to
they
show
would take
up.
I think they would take a monitor, and $20 or something, right?"
Yeah,
Let me go back to what we said before, where we've got a non-motion dangling on the floor.
We do have a non-motion day. I'm
Um,
waiting for this.
I move that the committee buy the shed at his cost plus, to what extent we can.
Second,
I want to amend that emotion.
yeah,
Only
I agree.
because we don't know what he's gonna claim, what his costs are. I think we should pick a firm number. I would feel much more comfortable saying $4,100
Yes.
if we have it. That's
Yes.
significantly over what he quoted us originally, plus the paint. So, and he has
that's
been really
about
busy. so-
$500. That's almost $600. That,
No,
wasn't part of the original agreement.
It's not
The
quite
paint-
that much.
The paint plus another $300.
I'm
So
not
to say
following.
$4,100 if we can do it.
I'm not following that.
No, it's not quite that
That's
much.
250.
I I was going with the sense of the group that he not,
It's $250, Gary.
Yeah, okay.
I was going with the sense of the group that he not lose money on the deal. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's what I would like to see.
Yeah. But
Okay,
but
so
I don't know how we can determine that.
No, and I don't see, I don't think that that's safe to do that, honestly, because I sort of trust him, but I'm a little uncomfortable with that because he's been running this business for a long time. And I think he will feel very good about us offering him this extra money. I don't think I don't think he's gonna lose money on it. He'll whine, but I don't think he's gonna lose money. Sue, you had a comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if we approved the 4,100? And then once we know how much it actually costs him, we could add some on if he loses money. I don't know if that's a realistic option
See,
for
I
us.
think because he's got his own business, it's really hard. I'm not sure he'll be able to identify all his costs that well, and he
Okay.
has been busy, so he's not poor. I mean, he's doing fine. And I've actually saw his house because that was the address that I first went to look at the sheds because there was how it was listed when Gary and I went there.
Yeah,
And he's got a very nice house, and I don't think he's hurting at all. I don't think his business is really in jeopardy.
What's the name of his business?
Shed Works.
That works. Yeah.
that's where we got our shed and we love it. It's old. It's like at least 20 years old and it's holding up great.
In Belchertown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So we have,
have a
do we
motion.
have an amended motion?
Wait, I don't
Yep.
even know what the motion was. It was never finished.
Well, Gail made a motion about,
I'm inclined to go with Sue's suggestion that we come up with a number that's comfortable from the committee. And if his cost is slightly under that, fine, we've covered it. If it's a little bit above, then we reconvene and see how much over and are we willing to pay.
yeah, I've been dealing with him for months. And I just do not have the feeling that he would be able to tell us that exact number. I think, he has a rough idea. And if we just say, we
4,100.
got together as a committee, we really want to support you as a local business.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you a few $100 extra in paint and cash to bring it up to a total of 4,100. I really think he'll be both touched and pleased and
Okay,
hopefully prioritize us as soon as that material comes in to make our shed.
all right.
Okay.
So
Who
moved.
would have thunk long time
so-
ago that we,
all
okay,
right.
so what's the motion?
I move that we authorize an increase to $4,100 for the shed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. Thank you all. And
right.
of course, I just add that that's contingent upon our revolving fund being able to cover this cost, but
Yeah.
I believe that it will be. And I will confirm that with Gail. Okay. Thank you. So I guess the next thing will be is when we hear the shed comes in, I'll let you guys know so you can all come see it. And we're gonna get a lock because the other one was defective. Along with the shed and the lock were defective.
We have to
Crack a
move
bottle
all
of
the stuff in
champagne.
too.
Well, and that's the other thing. We'll have to have a moving day. And Becky is going to try to wait until she still has like 20 boxes of bags at town hall. So she's not in immediate desperation to order more bags. So I asked her if she would wait till like December 1st to order them. Because he thought maybe by the end of November, he would be able to get some more materials. And I'll call him and check as soon as I get the okay on the amount and see if he has heard anything more about the Duratemp being available. But if we get the bags in and they can go directly into the new shed, that would be wonderful. If we can't, we may ask you all to help move them into town hall, and then we'll have to move them when it arrives. So hopefully we don't have to, but we may. Just the way it is. So anyway, okay. Yes, Peg?
Yes, my question is, I just have just a question myself. The Board of Health, where is the shed going to be for the Board of Health?
So it's already been moved. It is, you know where our old shed was? On the
Yes.
side of the school?
Yeah.
Keep going back and it's in that, right behind it.
Oh, okay.
So it's already been moved there. The highway department did move it because Wayne was like, I'm not even gonna talk to you until you move the other shed. He has been a bit of a pain in the butt to deal with, but anyway. And they had like 3 chains in the forks to move that shed. And Michael Broad had already done his repairs inside the shed. And I think if he hadn't done that, it may have fallen apart on the forks. So bye-bye.
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Oh, is our old shed gonna go bye-bye?
Our old
The old
shed's
shed-
already moved.
Oh,
It's
The
already
old,
moved down
old
behind the original place where we had our boxes stored.
that's the one behind the library now?
No,
Where
nothing's
is it?
going up near the library. The new shed is gonna be where the former shed now known as the Board of Health shed.
Okay,
The new old shed.
And the old shed that we used for years is
Yep.
going to be filled with school stuff.
but stay in place.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe not, if we order more bags, would it be filled at that point in time?
I don't know.
The bags will fit fine in the new shed. 10 by 12 is quite big.
No,
There's
no, what
plenty-
I'm
Oh.
getting at is if we get new bags before the new shed is there.
Oh, they'll go in the
instead
bottom of town hall.
Instead of town hall, could they go in the old shed?
I don't think we should, no.
Hmm.
I think the school needs them, and there's plenty of room in town hall after the election because people aren't going in there. So it's the safest place to put them, and
Hmm.
let's hope we don't have to move them twice.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay optimistic about this, and let me tell you, it has not been easy. Okay. Anything else on the shed? No. Gary, anything on contracts you want to mention?
Well, there are a couple of things. We got a bill from the MRF for a certain amount of money, and we knew it was coming because this is the first year that municipalities have had to pay for processing of recyclables. So we got that. It was a larger than Becky thought it would be, except that when we did the calculations originally, we came up with about $17,000 that it was going to cost the town to process the recyclables, and the bill was for 13. So, you know,
But wasn't the
better.
17 for the whole year, though?
for the whole year, and the 13 was I think for the it was proposed for the whole year, something like that.
Oh,
So,
good.
anyway, so we'll see what happens. I don't think they know what's going on either. I think everything is discombobulated now in the world, and so it's hard to know what's going to happen. The other thing that was kind of curious is that we have been sending our trash to the wrong place for a few months. We were supposed to send our trash to the former Covanta down in Agawam, beginning on July 1st. And Gail asked me, who's our contact at CPE? And so I said, CEP rather. And I got the name, and Gail contacted the guy, and the guy said, we don't have any record of Shutesbury trash coming into our facility. So, you know, we checked around. I wrote to Becky, and I tried to talk. I got Arlene involved, and nobody knew what happened, except that finally the USA Recycle traced our trash to Casella, which is the place in Holyoke where we'd been sending it for the previous contract. And now, at last, it is going where it should go, to to CEP. And so anyway, I guess I don't know if anyone's seen a bill from Casella, but we haven't seen any from CEP either. So, maybe nobody knows what's going on, but now it's all straightened out, and at least it's going to the right place. And so that contract is finally underway. Joe, can you take that, please? Yep.
That's crazy.
Never mind. I'll just hang up.
It's not 860.
Haverhill, Mass. Nah.
That's where I grew up. Hey, wait a minute. That's my call. That's where my dad lives. Gail, you want a question?
The contact that we have at CEP is very helpful, very cooperative. They promise they'll give us a monthly outboard the way that we get from MERV. Casella was impossible to deal with in terms of getting anything out of them. So this is a much better situation in terms of reporting and getting actual tonnage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Now, Gary, let me just say, given that they took our trash to the wrong place, we still have our contractual tipping fee amount, so we can't be charged anymore. Is that correct?
That's right. That's correct.
And the amount's the amount, so.
The amount is the amount.
Yeah.
And so from now on, at least, I think beginning, I hope beginning in October, but I'm not sure. At least at beginning in November, we'll be able to get figures, of the trash that we're sending to CEP. So
That we're getting more trash that we're getting rid of because everyone's at home, so you generate a little bit more.
I wonder, I'd like to find out. That's an interesting question.
is the tipping fee in the contract, Gary?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. It's, and I don't have it it's $82.50 a ton, I think, something like that,
Okay,
which is actually like a couple of dollars more than we were paying to Casella last year. So it was a pretty good deal.
Hmm.
And Arlene Martin engineered this whole thing with many municipalities. So we got the best deal we could anyway.
Well, and I think the next lowest bidder was like close to twice the amount. It was like outrageously more.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was, it was crazy. So
And
we,
CEP is a new company. I mean, they bought out Covanta. They really want customers. And so we got a very good deal with them. And and we have a 3-year contract, renewable for 2 more years.
excellent. Thank you, Gary.
Yep.
Any other questions on contracts? Nope. Trash bag distribution. I guess just to say again, thank you all so much for putting so much time in and making it as safe as it was. I think it went really smoothly. I think we felt safe working there, at least I did, and people coming also did. And I say, I don't think I had anyone that came that wasn't wearing a mask. Everyone was wearing a mask, and I was like, stop, and they stopped. So that worked out well. I think we're probably going to have to do something similar this coming summer, and we'll talk about it again before then. But we will most likely do it out of the one shed. And I think what we can do is have one person handle it, which means we can, towards the beginning, maybe have 2 people on, but we have to figure out how we can do that safely. And we can talk about this more at a later time, but now that we have our own little shed and all, and it seemed to me that it didn't really benefit us that much by having the 2 locations. And I know I was always screaming, give them three extra packs or whatever.
That's right.
So We
3
could-
households, right?
Yeah, 3 households.
We need little tin cans,
Yeah.
tin cans on a string.
Yeah, so I think we can probably handle it with one person doing it, and maybe if we do that, we can, stretch, maybe add a few dates, but not have to do additional dates personally, because if we're doing them singly, then and it all depends what happens with town meeting, there's a lot of ifs still out there.
A lot of it. And there may be a vaccine by then, who knows, but I think we ought to plan, for having a safe distribution, like we did last time.
Anyone else want to comment on that, though? Did everyone feel okay with that?
I did,
It was good.
yeah.
Yeah, I
think
did.
it worked well.
Although I must say that the time that Peg and I did it and it was freezing cold
Oh,
and it had snowed a little bit the night before, I mean,
Really?
yeah.
really, really cold winds. We ran to our cars a couple times because nobody was coming.
No one was coming, so we go sit in our cars, and when somebody drove up, we'd get out.
Run out of our cars.
Oh, boy. I don't remember that. Wow, I'm sorry you had to do that.
No, we survived.
Was it an early date then? A
It was
really
an
early-
early one. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll start later then. Okay, so we're already on to other. Does anyone else have any other items they'd like to bring up? Other than Sue, who needs to do something about that awful cough.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, I've had this for 5 weeks, and it's been very hard to diagnose correctly, and I've been on all different kinds of treatments and approaches, but I've got another one, and so we'll hopefully get rid of it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not COVID. It's not COVID. I've been tested.
Oh, good. Good.
So
All
just
right,
annoying.
well, there being no other,
Well, I
And-
have something to
oh,
say.
okay, Peg.
In 15 minutes, I'm going to be talking to Colorado with Mike because our grandson is having his first birthday.
Oh,
Yay,
bravo.
congratulations.
All right.
congratulations, Gran.
That's
And
wonderful.
we're going to watch him. We're not going to watch the presents or anything. We're just going to watch him taste his first bite of cake and
You-
icing.
Fist and shove is usually what happens.
That's, there's a picture of me at 1 having done that very thing. I just bite into the cake.
And then there's no going back. We know we love our cake. That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, there
And
was,
I'll also just say, we did lose Liz, but we still have a pretty strong group of people here. So I'm not going to really look too hard for more members, but if anyone ever hears of someone who's very interested in joining them, please send that information along to me and I'd be happy to follow up.
Yeah, we can always use more help with the distribution. Yeah.
Ooh. All right, well,
here, Sue.
I'm going to propose that we adjourn the meeting then, and no other meeting scheduled for a while. Like I said, I'll probably just email people if we need some help moving boxes or the champagne against the shed when we finally get it. I know I'm drinking.
No, we'll have a celebration.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all, guys. and
All right.
so lovely
Everybody-
seeing you.
And thank you for
Thank
hanging in
Stay
on the.
safe, all.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
so you get healthy.
Make them well.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.